So, now I'm gonna talk about an ex of mine, and that there are people out there who can, well, I'm not sure if they can, but who will try to steal your destiny, who might even want to swap destinies. And it's also called, or it goes under the category of witchcraft. And whatever you might think of witchcraft, whether it exists or not, there are evil people out there with bad intentions, right? So from my experience, I had an ex that would try to destroy me, who treated me like an enemy, and who tried to steal my destiny, who tried to, essentially destroy me, have my support network destroyed, having people turned against me in my inner circle, using me as a jump board to my connections, to people I know. So I was working in the film industry as an actor, and my ex thought she could use my position, and then take everything I'm worth for, destroy me, dump all her negative stuff, all her negative traits on me, and then leave me destroyed and essentially steal my destiny. Doing that what I did, or taking my position in that, or my role, or my position in life. She was also someone that would be who gets joy out of misery of others, who could, I don't know, who would get some joy out of torturing me or trying to torture me. And the moment they caught, you can see that little smirk coming up. When you, as a normal person, you're just trying to understand the other person, you don't really understand maybe necessarily what you're in, right? You kind of or what you're involved in. You kind of just think oh, maybe with enough understanding, the relationship could be better. But that doesn't work with all people, especially if it's people that are out to steal your destiny, destroy you, and whatnot. So, but one thing, we might think that they could steal our destiny, and they might even be able to take temporarily that place by also copying you, or that's what I would see. She would be essentially make herself be like I am. So copy me, copy how I am, copy how I behave, and then present that as something that she would portray outside towards other people. So when she does that though, the thing is, with people like that those people have to pretend. They have to pretend to be like that. They are essentially snakes, putting on a front, putting a mask on, pretending to be something that they're not. And that's also the reason why they could never steal your destiny. They could temporarily put themselves in your place, in your position, but in the end, a snake is a snake, and ultimately people find out, the truth always prevails. The masks fail, the masks fall eventually. People are known for who they are, and not who they try to copy and present people, or how they present themselves towards people based on what they copy of other people. For example, oh, that person acts like that, so now I'm going to copy that and also act like that. So those are things that I noticed. And then in the end, like, of course, they want to blame you too. So they copy you, they take you for everything you're worth. They would try to destroy you. And then when the relationship doesn't work, because you obviously had enough, or you get to the point where you had enough, where you cannot no longer tolerate that kind of behavior, then you're also being blamed for the failure. Or blamed for like wanting out of that relationship and being told all those negative traits were you, or like you have all those negative traits that actually the other person has. So they're dumping their own personality on you, right? So they're projecting how they behaved. They're projecting that on you. So, but yeah, your destiny cannot be stolen. Eventually snakes are known to be snakes, or it becomes obvious to other people. And yeah, like there is no one, if you're authentic, there is no one like you. People can pretend and copy you, act like how you are, thinking that would serve them, and ultimately there is a reason why it works, but it doesn't work if underlying a person is a snake, copying someone else's behavior in order to get something from people. So yeah. So I was in that relationship. It took me quite a while to kind of like realize what's happening. That crazy making too, like where you're being intentionally made crazy by circular conversation, or like my ex would try to drive me crazy with circular conversation that never comes to a resolution, where you think like, oh, let's just talk rationally or logically about this, maybe we can work this out. But that's beside the point. That's not what my ex wanted. My ex wanted to have circular conversation that never comes to an end, and yeah, drive you essentially crazy because you're in a 2-hour conversation and you try to come to that resolution, or like try to understand the other person, but that if someone plays a game and you don't see that, you're thinking like, oh, you know what, all it needs is some understanding, some discussions, but that's not the case. That doesn't work with all people. That works with maybe like normal people, but yeah, no. So I thought I'd bring that up because I also saw other people mention it, and they threw that in the category of like witchcraft, or a witch that tries to swap destinies, and it just sounded or resonated so strongly with me that I thought like, I'm gonna share this to you. I'm gonna share a little bit my own experience, and also like what kind of people you could encounter. So there are those kind of people who are just out to get something from you. Maybe it's your position in life, maybe it's your destiny, maybe it's what you have, whatever you might have, and they want to take that from you. So yeah, I'm pretty happy I don't have that around anymore, but I know how confusing it can be if you are in there and you think you just have to like understand the other person a little bit more. If all you coming from was always from like, oh, I just need to understand the person, and then maybe like this can be resolved. And to an extent you would be right, You gotta understand the other person a little bit more, but not in the way that you think. Not that the other person is actually disclosing how they feel, what they want, or anything, but actually like who they are. Who they are, and you have to see that for yourself. They're not gonna tell you. Maybe they're gonna tell you, but in most cases you just gotta like look for the behavior itself and let the behavior speak for itself. So not what someone else says. So that's another thing. I received a lot of lies. I would get lied to very often, where one behavior would say like X, and then what the person actually would say would be Y, something like completely opposite of their behavior. So it's also why you have to take people by their actions and their behavior and not so much by their word, because they can say anything, and in the end the behavior is what actually matters, right? So yeah, so much for people that want to try steal your destiny. I don't think they can really once you like understood what they were trying to come after. And it also only works temporarily, as long as snakes are not known to be snakes for their behavior, or once the mask falls. But yeah, those are the signs that you can see. Like they try to be like you, not just to be like you, they copy you, and then they try to get rid of you as much as they can, so that you disappear and that they essentially can take you apart in life. So that's what I saw with my ex. That would want me basically essentially gone. But you know what? It's not gonna work. I'm not just gonna disappear. And yeah, same for you. If you encounter that, it only works temporary. You can always reclaim your destiny. And yeah, so much for that, and I'll see you in the next video.